Hey, how are you? It's Mary, and welcome to your training. Your clients are waiting. They're waiting. Your Big Bold Life and Biz is waiting for you. It's available right now for you. So I want you to get out your big old training guide and let's get started. So I'm going to probably break this down into two separate trainings. You can see that, let me move that over there so I can see what you're seeing. You can see that there's quite a bit. I might plow through it. We'll know on the back end of this. So grab your workbook, print it out or not, or just follow along the first time. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going through I think there's 25 different components to this. I'm not going to read everything because it's literally pages upon pages upon pages for you. But I am going to highlight as much as possible and kind of give you just a general overview so that you have some clarity for your own business strategy. Just making sure I'll be checking the video. I'm using a little bit of a different platform today. This is actually interesting. There's all different ways that you are able to record video. Some of you have QuickTime, there's iMovie, there's Movie Magic, there's your phone, there's all kinds of different ways. And then you can upload that to YouTube, directly to your blog, etc. What I'm using is actually called Ecamm. This is a product that you can use on Facebook, and I'll be doing so much more Facebook Live with the coming months and into the future in the year. And with Ecamm, you can actually share a lot easier, and you can do a screen in screen. And then what happens is it automatically asks you if you want to upload this to YouTube. So right now I am broadcasting on let's see if I can get you to see it. No, you can't see this. I am broadcasting only to myself, my personal Facebook page. And in other words, no one else can see that. So the good thing about that and the different thing about that is actually going to be housed on the Facebook server, and then it's also going to be uploaded to YouTube. And then I'm going to give you my website page, your client training page, which eventually, by the way, will go to a membership site, FYI, if you get an email that says you need to log in and create a password, etc. But right now it will be embedded. The YouTube code will be embedded into a page on my website. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because as we're talking, things are going to change. I'll keep this for the most part updated, but today things could change like that. You might not have access to Facebook. You might not have access to YouTube. And there's going to be different software applications that you will use in the future for your business, for whatever. I don't know. Every single one of you is a little bit different. And so what you're going to be learning today, extrapolate what will work for you and move on. So to the point about Ecamm, it's just easy to be able to do a Facebook Live and have Ecamm send it automatically to YouTube. Otherwise, I would have to record it maybe on QuickTime, and that would be recorded and held on my computer, and then it's going to be uploaded into YouTube. The other good thing about Ecamm is it also automatically saves this to my computer. So if Facebook blows up, if YouTube blows up, I still have a copy of this. And then I have a little hard drive right here that I do all my backups with. By the way, what kind of system are you in for backing things up? I have a new light here. I need to get some anti-reflecting glasses. These are all these little tips as we go along. Today I'm going to be throwing in. So if they're out of context, go with it. I'm going to be drinking water because my throat's a little sore today. So anyhow, you can see that my reading glasses, and I actually probably don't need those if I blew that screen up a little bit more. My reading glasses will have reflection. And so you can see in this lighting. You can see it in my glasses. I will show it to you later, but basically what it is this is with it on. This is with it off and just a separate light. So I bought new lighting because, lighting is so key. Let me see if I can just blow all this up so that I can read it without my glasses on. All right. So lighting is key, and so is good sound, and I know that you are able to hear me. Okay. Ready? All right, let's jump in. So your clients are waiting for you to find them. Okay, so it's your job to find your clients. Now, you may have people that are looking for whatever the product or service it is that you have to offer, but your job is to find them. Okay, so as I'm talking today, also, I want you to know that what I'm saying is interchangeable. So if I talk about a product, you might have a tangible product. You might have a digital product. You might be selling, timeshares or whatever it is. You might be selling property. You might be selling your service. When I say product, I just mean generally the thing, and you might be your product, right? You are your product because you're the face of your business, no matter whether you're working for someone else or not. You are the face of your business. So there's a variety of strategies for you to communicate, connect, become visible, and make sure your clients see you, hear you, and want to hire you. Your goal is omnipresence. Now, saying that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be in every space, everything, but when you go through different levels in your business, or you are expanding your business or transitioning, you really do want to be everywhere. You do want to be appearing as though, oh my God, there she is again. Oh my God, there she is again. Why? Your job is to stay top of mind. We are inundated with opportunities to buy from millions of people that do what you do. They might not do it like you do or as well as you do or be as great as you are, blah, blah, blah. But, if they're top of mind, they're going to get the client, not you. In fact, I've had so many clients tell me over the years about, they were surprised. They had a good interaction with a prospect, and for whatever reason, and I'm sorry, I realize I keep looking at the light for whatever reason. They've had prospects for whatever reason say, oh, you're great, and when we get to it, I'm going to hire you, and blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, Sally Sue has hired Jane. And they don't have any understanding why. And I asked them, okay, what have you done? What is your process to stay in front of your people, your potential clients, your prospects? And they're like, well, they don't really have one. Or they email once a month. Or they occasionally send something out. One of the things I realized as I'm speaking, I did not put in your training is, and of course add to this because I will be adding to this in my own head. Not only electronically will you needing to be communicating with people, but, find out when are their birthdays, when's the anniversary, when is their grandchild being born, when is their baby being born. Your job is to be in front of them, and it does not cost a lot to send a card or a mug or some candy or whatever. Because if they don't use you, they might refer you, right? They might refer you. Excuse me. Clearly, I'm not going to edit that out. So, here's a variety of things. Remember, not everything in this document or training video is applicable to you. Your job is knowing where your clients are hanging out. And sometimes that changes. And as your business evolves, that changes. It's still up to you. And that means that you need to know your prospect. You need to know your client. So if you haven't done your target market research lately, or you haven't surveyed your list of prospects or your email list and find out what they want, you need to do that as well. So there's things that, even though, this is another thing that I hear frequently from clients. they come to me, they've had a successful business, and they've never truly marketed. It's just been word of mouth, and they've gotten referrals, and maybe they're a little known in their community or whatever. And then all of a sudden, things are drying up. And, they wish that they had behind them all this time a marketing strategy, all this time an engagement strategy, all this time reaching out and connecting with people and building their email and communicating so that they're not so terrified. Oh my God, here I am, 55 or whatever, or 40, and I'm starting over, and I don't know who to turn to. I don't know how to re-engage with people. Well, just because you've historically had referrals doesn't mean that is going to last. Let me actually tell you a couple things that have happened recently. One is, I was just at a luncheon the other day. This woman moved, I think she does finances or something. Anyhow, she moved from one agency, one office, and they got bought out. So she moved on. Well, of course, there was a no-compete clause. 16 years with the one firm that got bought out. She had all these clients, no communication. She was not allowed to do any communication. Had she been engaged with them all of these years, whether it was in LinkedIn or something along these lines, or, had their emails, had their, made sure that those people had a way to connect with her outside of her actual job, then she wouldn't be out. I mean, can you imagine 16 years and you change jobs and you can't communicate with one prospect? I had another client who was a marketing expert and, 20 plus years in her business. And she had only ever had referrals, no strategy. Another client, she is an attorney, and she is a partner in a law firm, but she had never really, and now like her boss above her is probably getting close to retirement. And so we're working on a strategy for her to kind of engage like the board, and how can she be more involved with the organization, even though she's been there more than a decade. So it's like, my point is really start now. Start now with your email list. Now, I'm going to give you literally, there's so many things on this. I know you probably already skimmed through this workbook. I do not want you to feel overwhelmed. This is your strategy, is to go ahead and find 5 or 10 things that you're going to implement, and then test it. Test. Run it 30 days, run it 60 days, see what kind of engagement you have, and then tweak and tweak and tweak. Your job is to add on, get into a flow, and then reassess every 90 days, every 6 months, once a year. Reassess what is working. You need to look back and think, where did my clients come from? How did I reach them? What is my process? How am I organized? That's your job. And I'm happy to help you do that, and the bottom line is this, we are all really good at serving our clients, and it's not so easy necessarily to stay organized. I want you to remember this though. Clients want to work with an expert. They want to work with a leader. Part of being a business owner and a leader is knowing how to find her. Right now. Your next client is thinking about you. She doesn't know you, or maybe she knows you. Maybe she does know you. I'm going to quickly weave this in. I want you to think about this. This is why you need to have a long game plan. Because if you're in it for the long haul with prospects, you need to do this marketing now, and blog writing or video or Facebook Lives or whatever now, so that when that person is ready and she finds you and she stumbles upon your YouTube channel, she will binge watch. She stumbles upon your blog, she will binge read or watch the videos and get to know you. In other words, she might not know you now, but if you don't have content, if you don't have things set up available for her to get to know you, you lost her. So there's 3 different types of clients, really. There's one who knows who you are and is looking at you, reading your stuff, watching you on your email list. It's just not maybe the perfect timing. So she is what we call really an informed client. I'm looking over here at my notes on the wall. She is an informed client. She's informed. She knows what her problem is, and that you or somebody that you are a person potentially who could help her fix her problem. Number 2 is the afflicted. And really, she is actively trying to solve her problem. She may not know about you, but she's like Googling who's the best real estate person, who's the best attorney, who's the best photographer, who's the best this, okay? But she might not necessarily know your name. Okay, hello. If you're out there and you are networking and you are marketing and you are showing up online and you are doing speaking gigs, et cetera, that afflicted person is like, I didn't even know you existed. And then she's going to be consuming your information and becoming an informed prospect, right? And an informed prospect are those people who are going to be buying more quickly. And then there's one that's called the oblivious client or prospect. That person, she doesn't even know she really has a problem. She just thinks this is the way life is. Right? This is the kind of person who's got like, getting out of bed every morning. They got a backache. They just think, oh, this is part of getting old. Now, an afflicted client, she has a backache and she heard there's some things that you can do about backaches. Maybe yoga or maybe something. The informed client is looking at your Pilates studio knowing that you teach all about backs. Let's look at some other examples. An oblivious client, she's not ready to sell her house right now. La, 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 I love my house, I love it. Like, right? I'm an oblivious client, right? I would be an oblivious, although I have real estate brokers for clients. But I'm an oblivious client. I love my house. I'm not ready to move. Oh my God, River graduated high school. Now I'm afflicted, meaning, I'm in that place of like, well, I want to think about moving. I'm starting to think about moving. I'm starting to think, yeah, I really do want a house on the river. Oh, look, people are marketing to me. I'm in the process of really, let me examine them. Now I'm becoming an informed client. Maybe there's 3 different brokers that I'm looking at. So can you see how you can move people along? But your goal is with your marketing is to stay top of mind, be out there doing your work, sharing, doing your job of showing up, doing you. Okay, part of being in business, blah, 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 you find her. Okay, here's your table of contents. Ooh, looky there. Doesn't that look great? Right? Okay. Oops. All right, I'm just going to briefly go through this, and then I'm going to go through these individually. But I really want you to anchor in. So if you need to pause right now and think about the informed, the afflicted, and the oblivious client. I want you to really feel that and really get that is why it is so important for you to show up, continually show up. Okay, so 3 fast and obvious ways to find your next client, what to do with those list of possibilities of those 3 places, a get to the point intro call script, get to the point emails, list building, email list building is a critical thing. Your email list is your nest egg. This is your asset. Your job is to obtain people's contact information. Testimonials, critically important. Opt-ins. What's an opt-in? This is a thing that helps people get onto your email list. Where does your perfect client already hang out? Do you know where you are, my perfect ideal client? Are you doing your research? And remember, informed, afflicted, oblivious. Where are those people? You should have an idea. Just because it's the same, like you have, how many times have I said this? So like if you could have 100 of her lined up or waving their credit card, I want to work with you. Great. She's informed. She knows about you. You know about her. But think about where she was. Okay, this is part of that strategy. A couple months before she became waving her credit card at you. Think about where she was steps before that. That way you know how to target these other people. I might do another training just on this concept because it will allow you longevity in your business. Okay. Networking, your elevator or hot hook or intro grabber, how to tell someone what your business is about, the number one way to maintain communication with your clients, a year-long in-touch system. Okay. This is great. You're going to love that. It's very easy. Recycle, repurpose, reuse, 15 ways. And I think I need to change that. There's way more than 15 ways to make more money with your signature program, how to recycle it. And when I say again, signature program, this is your process. This is the thing that you do with people, whether you are selling a product, whether you've created a digital program, whether you have a process, how to promote your blog with email, how to use Twitter. Okay, so this is how to use Twitter to promote your blog. So I listed a few, and actually this training from number 15 down is some sample training from CoSchedule, and I went ahead and I included this. And they are an automated posting software, and you don't necessarily need that. And there's other ones out there, Hootsuite and Meet Edgar. But this is just to show you some ideas. Now, there's certain things that are not on here. YouTube's not on here. Instagram's not on here. Snapchat's not on here. Whatever other ones that are being developed right now in somebody's garage as we speak. But pull out a couple of the ideas. So here's one about Twitter. Here's one about Google+, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, how to use automated contents to push your blog, how to do outreach and partnership, looking at SEO for your blog. Now, don't get freaked out and overwhelmed. These are actually very simple things. How to repurpose and improve your blog post. All right. 3 fast and obvious ways to find your next client. Your past clients. Hello. Have you even asked your past clients for a referral? Previous people you didn't close. Create a new offer tailored to them. This does not mean you're discounting it. It's simply something that is a win for you and a win for them. So what's your process? Okay, wait a minute. First, people you know who don't know what you do. So I want you to think right now, make a list of all of your past clients. Now, when I've done this exercise before, people have been like, well, are you talking about past clients that I like? All past clients. And this is really big right now. Get ready. Now pay attention. I want you to list all the clients you've ever served in all of your current business or previous careers. Yes. These are people, whomever they are, that you have served on one level or another. List everybody. We'll talk about this in a minute. Why? Because there's another strategy to engage with those people that, may have been from some previous job that you did, if you're able to retain that information. Previous people you didn't close. What do you do with those prospects that you didn't close? Do you circle back around 2 months later? Hey, Sally, just checking in. I know that when we spoke, these were the 3 things we were going to work on. How are you doing with them now? Are they still a problem for you? Or, does your back still hurt? Or have you lost that 25 pounds yet? I know that it's like June, or your 20-year anniversary is coming up, or whatever. I know that you said, okay. Do you take notes when you actually are having a closing the deal call? And also you will get that, if you have not already used that training, you should. What's your process? Follow-up systems are so important. If you've not followed up with people lately, what are you waiting on? Right? Remember, if we think about afflicted, informed, afflicted, oblivious, some of those people that don't close are actually the afflicted. They have a problem, and maybe they know about you, but it's not like really bad. All of the people of influence personally. Like literally, write down everybody you know. Everybody you know. Not just everybody you might put on the Christmas list, but like literally everybody you know. So now what do you do with these? Your goal in creating these lists is to actually get on the phone with them. I know you're breaking out. Get on the phone. I hate getting on the phone. Okay, so let's talk about some options. I'm also going to give you an email script that you can use, but let's talk about this. using the phone should always be your first mode of engagement. And frequently it's not. So many times we hide behind our computer, we hide behind our email, we hide behind Messenger or whatever. And the reality is people aren't using the phone anymore. And so that's a great idea to do that. It's kind of rare. Now, granted, we all have caller ID, etc. But there's nothing wrong with leaving a message and then doing your email follow-up. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, one of the things that I do, if I leave a message, I send them an email and then I send them something either on Facebook Messenger or in LinkedIn Messenger. So, hey, I left you a message, because sometimes people, they're just busy. They might not really read their email. I have some people that don't read email, but my God, they'll respond like that on LinkedIn. Crazy, right? Also, you don't know, with all of the changes with like Gmail or Yahoo or whatever, or if you only have somebody's work email, you don't know what kind of firewalls are going up anymore and spam walls. And there's frequently times where I will connect with somebody in LinkedIn and say, hey, I sent you an email the other day, and they're like, I didn't get it. I'm like, oh God, that's crushing. Right? You take that time to make sure you're communicating, and then they didn't get it. So part of this whole thing today that you're going to be learning about is, more than one touch, more than one reach out. Now, I know you might be thinking like it's overkill. It's not. People are busy. And, you can even I think I put in the LinkedIn, like, hey, I sent you an email the other day. Sometimes I know stuff gets spammed out because my signature line has my website in it. Okay. So if your signature line actually holds your website or, a link, a lot of companies will spam that right out. Gmail will sometimes spam that out. If there's certain words in your email, Gmail will spam that right out. Okay. So who have you called? Every single coach I know, or every single person I said, I've made a list and then called these people I really want to work with. So, not just every single coach, every big Shark Tank person, right? The other day I was watching The Profit. It's on CNBC, and it's with this guy, Marcus Lemonis or something like that. Anyhow, he does this show where he goes in and he looks at businesses. And of course, I'm a voyeur and I watch all this stuff. I love the behavior of people. Like, I don't get this. They ask for his help. Like, come on in and help me with my business. And then they're like, who the hell do you think you are? It's just, people are so fearful and controlling. My point is, one of the people, I think, emailed him and wrote him like 37 times. Tried to call him. I mean, what are you really doing? Now, granted, don't go necessarily 37 times, but, don't give up on one try. Who have you called lately? Who have you even talked with lately? Your goal is to be in sales mode. What sale have you done lately? If you're wondering why you haven't made money lately, or as much money as you want, look at what you wrote above. Yes, you are here to help people, but your first goal in business is to be in business. And in order to be in business, you have to have more clients. And being in business is about making money, period. And you need to be in that place where you are wanting to make money. Now, I know that everybody wants to help people, but you really need to be in a place of making money. I want you to really think about this right now. So this is a little money mindset thing. One, why are you dismissing, making money? When you're like, oh, I'm really not in it for the money. What is that saying about your relationship with money? Why isn't it that you're not honoring money? Money is going to give you everything that you want in your life. It's going to buy you time. And I didn't say it's going to make you happy, but let me tell you, when my housekeeper Heidi leaves and I pay her $35 an hour, when she leaves, she's happy and I'm happy. So the money I make allows me to buy time, and by buying time and hiring her and paying her a lot of money to clean my house. So, it makes me happy. What is the value of the service that you're offering? What's the value? And I want you to really think about owning that, right? owning that. A lot of times people are like, oh gosh, if I'm going to make more money, it's going to take me so much more time. So I just want to focus on helping people. I say you can help people and make a lot of money. You can have both of those things. We'll do more training on that another day. Love for that. So part of being in business and making sales means that you really have the tools. So this is a lot of the discussion today, is making sure that you have the tools that you need to make sure stuff gets done. Ready? Do you have a business account? Of course, I know you have a business account, but are you organized with it? How do you take payments? Are you organized? How does she reach you? Are you organized? Does she have a schedule? Are you organized? Do you have certain days you meet with clients, work on your social media, on the phone, network? The bottom line is, are you scheduled in order to have business building and looking for clients? Are you just getting caught up in the busyness? You need to have designated times that you are reaching out. I know that I've taught you, and we've talked about making sure that you start your day, number one, not picking up your phone next to your bed and looking at the emails, because what you're doing now is you're giving someone else your power. You're giving your power to that person who's emailed you with their stuff or their crisis, and you responding to them. And so you start your day in reaction mode. Instead, start your day in proactive mode for your business. That looks like getting up early, having a decent cup of coffee or tea or what have you, looking at your mind. Look at all these books behind me. Feeding your mind, and then being proactive in the business of building your business. That might be sending out a proposal. That might be getting your list together and start making phone calls before you even check your email. None of you, I know, are brain surgeons. I don't have brain surgeons as clients. So there's really nothing that's so critical that you can't wait until 10 o'clock to check your email so that you start the day. Okay? Getting to the point, I'm not going to go through this whole thing here about getting to the point in intro call. It's really, the point is, take this and tweak it for you. Have a script in front of you that sounds like your words, but get to the point, like, hey, I'm not going to read all of it, but like, hey, Sally, I wanted to give you a call and tell you about a project I've been working on. Always ask permission. Is now a good time to chat for a few minutes? Double check, because the kid's screaming in the background, the dog just got run over. You never know. This call is different than the art of the ask or closing the deal training, right? Because it's more direct and targeted. It's targeted to those previous clients. It's targeted. Okay. Now here's the get to the point emails. So tweak these a little, but this is about kind of what they're really about. Is number one, directly going for a potential client, saying, a big problem I've noticed lately is, and name the big problem that someone like that person probably has, or someone in that group probably has, or this could kind of be your roundabout reconnecting with prospects that you didn't close. Like, hey, Sally, how's life treating you? You came to mind recently and I couldn't help but reaching out. And you could say something like, I know we talked before about these 3 problems. How are they working for you, etc. So tweak these. These are very directive. Another one is, example number 2 is, I have some exciting news. And so this is about like when you're expanding or you're offering something new. And basically it says something exciting has happened recently. If you're new, you could say, I've just started a business. Or if you're expanding, you could say, I wanted to share with you how my business is expanded because I know you probably know people, I don't know, who could benefit from it. Here's what's going on. And now you briefly tell them a little bit about like, I was a therapist and now I do coaching because XYZ, etc. And you're letting people know who your ideal client is. So I see a little typo there. Ugh, I hate that. So the point about that, to tell people a little bit about what you're doing and, let me see, so directly working one-on-one with clients. I'm right here to determine what exact next steps they are to launch their business. I give free talks, et cetera, et cetera. So you're telling them a little bit about your ideal client so that it's weeding them out, or it's making their brain start searching like, oh, do I know anybody that she could do a talk in front of? Okay. So you're giving people these, and really next time I should have put this in bullet points. Boom, boom, boom. And, asking them to pass that on. Maybe asking them to forward that. How about that? How many that do this today? This is one of your assignments right now, right now, if you haven't done this, is to go back to that list of everyone that you know and let them know about the evolution of your business. Where have you evolved? I want to update you. I want to tell you how I expanded. I want to keep you informed. Something like that. Those two things are the key. Those two types of emails. Okay. So email list building. There's several ways to do this. Giving free talks, networking, asking for referrals, social media engagement, building an opt-in. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Running ads. Don't run a bunch of ads right now. Facebook ads, Google ads. That's not your priority. Run a telesummit or an expert panel. Every single one of you, no matter what industry you are in, is able to actually run a telesummit. There's no reason not to, or no reason not to have an expert panel. To this point, and I have all the training if you need that, why is this beneficial for email list building? Is because your goal is to get in front of someone who has a compatible business. A compatible means that they are serving the same client population, but the service you are offering would be compatible to a service that they're offering different, but it's also helping the client solve a problem. Let me give you a great example. Say that you're a realtor and you want to work with an interior designer and maybe do some before and after shots. Everybody loves before and after shots. Maybe you are a photographer and you want to work with a stylist. There you go. Maybe you are a relationship coach and you want to interview on your expert panel divorce attorneys. Hello. Maybe you work with divorced women and you want to work with a financial planner, right? So that you can support your clients who are divorced women, and that financial planner probably has some divorced women, and so you're cross-pollinating, if you will, your connections. Email, getting traffic to your blog or your website, whatever you want to call it, writing articles, getting them published on various websites, being a guest writer, being a guest on a podcast. Let me tell you, I've made tens of thousands of dollars being on podcasts. Being a guest on a television show or someone's YouTube channel, getting into your local paper. I've made thousands and thousands, probably maybe 20 something $1,000 being in my local paper. Writing for your industry associations. Okay, this is a juicy one. Why is that really cool? I'm going to show you, and I'm pointing down your workbook, but, different associations, not just for speaking, but if you have the opportunity to go ahead in and write for their association blog. So you're positioning yourself as the expert. And of course, once you do that, then you can kind of pop over to whatever, Fortune magazine or what have you. And so, get your name out there that way. That's kind of exciting. Interviewing someone you find famous in your industry so they can share it with people. Who's famous in your industry? I don't know. Do different videos, YouTubes. Always, all of these have a call to action, a CTA, a call to action. And a call to action might just be like, want a little bit more, pop over to my website, Want a free down infographic for how to, 10 reasons you need to do yoga, click here. Want the top 10 reasons, newlyweds, have sex the most often, create some kind of call to action, meaning that person who's reading it isn't just like, all right, whatever next. They're actually going somewhere to either consume more information from you, or they're going somewhere to actually enter their name and email and get on your email list so that they are now in your sales funnel and you walk them through a process and educate them and be the authority and be the expert and being top of mind. LinkedIn groups, various groups all over, right? There's all kinds of forums still online, all of that. Create a workshop, give it locally. What can you do that would be a great before and after? Are you teaching keto? Before and after, are you a physical therapist? You know, before and after. I just went to the podiatrist yesterday, and apparently my foot goes to only to 90-degree angle, and it's supposed to go like 80-degree or something like that. I mean, she could have taken a picture of my foot and said, after Mary did these exercises for 9 weeks is what I got to do. 9 weeks. Then her foot went like that. I don't know. Then post that stuff. So somebody else who has really high arches could be like, I have high arches too, just like that woman Mary. And look, that Dr. Granville, she fixed her. There's several ways to get the word out about who you are without you even saying a word. Because I know sometimes people are like, I can't stand up in front of big crowds like you do, Mary, and talk. I get it. I understand. So send one of those get to the point emails out that was above and higher up in your workbook. Get that done. Add your signature line. Put an opt-in in it. You know, sending out just regular email. What about your voice email, business cards? Now, this is what I believe about business cards. I believe that they're just trash. You know, they usually go right in the trash. Your job, sure, if you want to have business cards so you can hand them out, great. But the better way to do this is not just hand them out to somebody or just collect them, but to actually immediately link in with someone. So if I have my phone, I don't know why my phone is sitting right here. I heard it a little while ago, and I try to always have it as an example, but let's say that this is actually my, my iPhone. So I would pull up my LinkedIn app, which I have all the time. It's right there on my home front screen. Click on it and say, oh, Sally, let me go ahead and let's LinkedIn. Let me connect with you. And it's funny because this phone is dead. And then boom. Oh, there's my phone behind me. Sorry, that's going to go for a minute. Hopefully you can't really hear it that much. So immediately linked in with them. And then you're just going to say, hey, it was really great meeting you at, you know, blah, 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 wherever this was. It was really great meeting you at whatever. And then once they connect back in after you do that connection message, you can say, hey, let me remind you a little bit about what I do and who I like to work with. And please tell me again, just so I have it in writing on our message. And so that way you're not just like, me, look at me. You are engaging with somebody. The other thing too is before you even do that, okay, because that's not like, you don't do that right there. You're just connecting. And then you can go back after they've accepted, right? And you can scan their website. Look at their information. Did you guys go to the same school? Do you like the same sports team? Do you like whatever? You know, pop over to their social media. If this is a potential good client, prospective client, if this is a potential that can lead you somewhere, then how can you engage with them? So it might just be like, hey, Sally, I see that you went to University of Oklahoma. Oh my God, I did too. Sooners. I'm a Sooner. I don't watch football like I did back in the day. You know, what's fun for you to do now? And she's going to respond. Or you could say even after that, it was really great meeting you at such and such. Just as a reminder, this is what I do. This is who I'm looking for. And I would love for you to tell me a little bit more about what you do and who you're looking for so that I can have this, you know, at the ready. Okay. Business cards, flyers, okay, flyers, whatever. I mean, I don't know who's using flyers, but I know that there's flyers out there. Referrals, opt-ins, testimonials, giving one and getting one. So here we are to testimonials, asking for them. Do you really ask for them? And I can see we're like 43 minutes in and I know you're taking a lot of notes and are doing a lot of listening. And so again, I'm not going to be reading all this, but really the key with the testimonies is asking for them. And what is helpful is if not only when you ask for them is, you think about how you've helped your prospective client. So you do the before and after. For example, working with Mary was you can always look at any of my website with all my email or testimonials, but you know, working with Mary was a wild ride. I've had my first $10,000 weeks, more than doubled my fees, and I'm on track to make more this year than I ever thought I could. She's a kick-ass mentor who blah, blah, blah. So you could say something like, you know, before, I worked with Sally. I was, 33 pounds overweight. She really listened to me and whatever. That Dr. Granville, that my podiatrist, she could say, Mary, so she could give me, your job is to kind of give them a little bit. 'Cause sometimes people, they don't know what to say. And you don't want just a bunch of, I love Mary. That's not information. Right? That's not helpful information. So by saying, I worked with this person and they helped me with the strategy, or, I was really nervous about selling my house, but when I worked with Sally, not only did she answer all my questions, but blah, blah, blah. So the way that you would do that is say something like, Jane, I know that when I helped you sell your house, one of your main concerns was, that you wanted somebody that was there, that was knowledgeable and answered your questions and didn't leave you hanging. And I know that by our conversations, this is what you shared with me. Would it be possible for you to provide me with a testimonial? Here's a little sample. Feel free to tweak it as you see fit. And then you put in there, like, when I worked with Sally, she was, I was kind of nervous. I was a first home buyer and, I really wanted to make sure somebody was available to me with questions, and I knew I had a lot and I needed somebody that was patient, And when I worked with Sally, she really accomplished all those things. I would recommend her highly. She made, buying my first home a breeze. Whatever, something like that. Okay? If you need help with that, you need to ask me, and we'll do custom ones just for you and your industry. Beneficial bragging. We've talked a little bit about this. Like, really, you need to beneficial brag. So it looks like this. When I'm on stage and I'm talking, I say something like, when I worked at Johns Hopkins, it was like very different working in the emergency room at Johns Hopkins than it is now working in corporate America, where I'm providing leadership and mentorship to women in male-dominated industries. Or I'd say something like, one of my clients, Kim, she was great at marketing, but to tell you the truth, sometimes she was in her own forest. So we put together something called the Authority Package, and she has since gotten to over $2 million in sales since we worked together. So beneficial bragging really means that you are sharing something that you've done successfully with a previous client in your previous life, etc. So that you are building authority. It's not like, hey, look at me, I'm making $5 million. Although you need to have people like that in your life, that you can be like that. Like when I have friends that, so my close girlfriends, I'm like, oh my God, you're not going to believe what happened. And it's not really bragging. It's really telling the story, right? But for you, beneficial bragging is to build your authority, build your expertise. One of my clients, she earned an award locally for being, a top broker in her firm. And I was like, I don't see that anywhere. I don't see that on emails. I don't see that on social media. Like, this is what I want you to really understand and get is like your people, they want to work with an expert. They want to work with somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about. They want that. And I know you and me as women, we're told not to brag. We're told that's not good. That's what we're told. And the unfortunate thing is, and the truth is that if we don't speak up, somebody else is going to swoop right in and take our client. So think about that. Like on my speaker page on my website, I have like the list, and I really need to add to it because I've spoken like about 20 more times than it's on there. But I need to add on there like a list of, I've been on this podcast and this telesummit. I've spoken in front of 600 plus people at this event. There was 500 people at this event, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So I'm beneficially bragging. I am sharing. Another thing, and I could go on about this. One of my clients sold for NASA. And her business is all about being a sales trainer. She never talked to people that she sold for NASA or that she was in the sales industry within NASA and like multi-million-dollar selling, multiple $1 million worth of selling. Well, that's kind of crazy, right? I mean, if you said, well, one of the things I did was I was able to sell with NASA or I sold to NASA, I'd be like, wow. Just even that you're in that arena. Somebody else I know recently, she's a consultant, has worked with Nike, with Intel and all that. I want to know all that. I want to know what you know because you know more than I do about certain things. That's the point. All right. Anyhow, I could go on and on about that. Bring your expertise, your years of experience forward. If you need help figuring out how to do beneficial brags, I'd love, love, love to help you with that. Okay. I think I'm going to take a break, actually, and I will pick this up later. And so this is going to be another part to this training. And the reason being is we still have a lot and a lot and a lot to go. And you can see that. So where did we stop? We stopped right here at opt-ins. So when I pick this up, I will highlight for you, if I break all of these trainings up, I will highlight for you where we stopped so that you won't have to go through. You can actually know which video contains which content. All right. And the reason I'm doing this is River just got home a little while ago and I'm getting ready to go hang out and get some pizza with her. So I will see you probably in like a second because you're probably going to click the very next video. But for real, I'll be doing this tomorrow. Bye. And in the meantime, think about your beneficial brags, right? You are so smart and brilliant at what you do. I know every single one of you. That's why we're working together. You're brilliant. I want you to bring more of that to the table without worrying about it. All right. Finish. Talk to you soon.